everybody, welcome back to Waverly's Preps. I'm Jeff. How's everybody doing today? It's like my third video for today, I guess. Got a lot on my mind. And what's on my mind is what I've been seeing on YouTube, and a lot of events been going on with the cyber attacks on the gas pipeline, which is a couple weeks old news. Now it's old news, and the meat packing plant. And just I heard something going on with Puerto Rico down there in the U.S. territories. Their power outage, but they're still trying to get back from that last hurricane they had down there. It's really messed up. But I kind of remember back in 2003 when we had that 2.5, 3 day power outage here. Whole eastern coast was just out of power. I was out of power here. No more than 30 minutes away, they all had power. So I think it was just on the other side of Ann Arbor or something place. Kind of gives you where I'm at. I was in Michigan. I live in Michigan. And a little story here I'm going to tell you. Back when that happened, me and my wife, we just bought a camper. Didn't have kids at the time. We just bought a camper. We're getting ready to go camping that weekend. My wife and I were out. I was at the Camping World place getting some stuff for the camper because we were just excited for a new camper. And so we decided to go, get some stuff for the camper. She was just getting off work where she works at, and then all of a sudden I was at Camp World and the power just went dim. And I was like, what's going on here? And I was like, something's going on. Cell phones down. We had Nextel phones at that time, which was, I still miss the Nextel phones. That's just me. I like the two-way communications, which was really awesome, because the cell service went down, but the two-way still worked. And as long as we were next to a tower, for some reason, the two-way radios worked. So I was able to communicate with her, she was able to communicate with me. She was at, I think, the dollar store, Dollar Tree or something like that. So she bought a bunch of batteries. She just stocked up on batteries. She was just getting that, and I was getting things for the camper, So we all met up home. We had gas in both our vehicles because we were going on a trip. So we're all prepared for that. Camper was ready. It was all hooked, all ready to rock and roll to go camping, except just pushing. It's one of those expandos, they pop out this back and front. So, well, we didn't go camping that weekend. We basically camped out in the backyard, in the driveway, in front of the garage, and we had a generator, and the only bad thing was there was no water running, so we had to take water, put it in the back of the toilet so we can flush and things like that. But it lasted for almost 3 days. And everybody was fine. People was cooking out stuff at night. It sounded like you didn't see, there was no lights. I never seen the sky so clear in my life at nighttime. You could see all the stars, which is really crazy. That was the first time since I was a kid, or living in this area, that you could see just all the stars in the sky. But anyways, so we all knew it was going to be a short-term power outage, just the way they talked at that time. This is like 2003, and there's some glitch in the system why the power went out, whatever. There was no conspiracy theories then about why the power went out or anything like that. They were, I don't remember them anyways because it's been so long ago. But we were prepared. My wife went into prepared mode when the power went out. She went into just survival mode, or getting stuff to what we need to do this, to do that at that time, because it was just it just happened. So she was doing things. So she went into survival mode. I went into prepared mode, and this is, I've been prepared since the 1990s, and this is going to that'll be a video later on. But anyways, so we went in there. She got batteries, she got things, and I got things, and we all came together, got the camper, hooked the generator up to the camper. We had satellite TV at the time, so we hooked it all up to the camper. We were not any kind of discomfort other than the bathroom situation. That was the only bad thing I think of was really terrible, because you didn't have running water. But we did have bottled water. We had 2 little dogs at the time. We had 2 min pens. So we had that, plus we had the neighbors around and stuff. And what kind of bothered me at the time is if it went longer than those 3 days, because people were getting pretty crazy going into the second day. They were running out of fuel because a lot of them didn't have fuel for the generators, and nobody didn't have generators. So the ones that did have generators were kind of sharing, plugging up their refrigerators and stuff to the houses, and helping each neighbor out. My father-in-law had his generator, brought it over, and I hooked it up to mine. I had a couple days fuel, plus I had an old truck. If I ran out of fuel on, I just go out there, turn the key on, and turn the fuel pump on, pump the gas into some gas cans. There's a way you can do it, trust me. Done it before. But when they open up a gas station I forgot where, I think it was up north of here somewhere, the guys got it going, got the generator going or something like that. They brought in these big generators, got them going. That everybody started flocking there. It had milk jugs, coolers, all kinds of stuff to put fuel in. And people were like, no, you can't put fuel in these. You can't do that. It's illegal. You got to have them, the right kind of canister to put the gas in. So people getting really mad and upset about that. So it was getting really bad. And that was the first time I ever seen people that I was watching on the news when they were showing it at that time, how the desperation was getting for them of not having power for a couple days. Now, we didn't have like tablets and smartphones like we do now. We just had regular flip phones that you could text and stuff like that. Or I had an Nextel, we could two-way too, which was really a cool feature. But people just text and send pictures back and forth. They didn't have smartphones where you had apps. They might have Blackberries back then, I don't know. Can't remember, but they didn't have the technology that they have today. Back in 2003 to now, the technology has gone far way out there compared to then. Now, I think if that would have happened today, if we would have a whole East Coast go out with power and nothing going on. I mean, New York was crazy. Every place southeastern, even up here, Niagara Falls, all the way up to Ohio, Michigan. So parts of Michigan had power because they're on a different part of the grid than what we are. But all the hotels and stuff were filling up over there. But I didn't want to leave my house because who knows how long that was going to be. So we just camped out. People get kind of unruly after so long. But with that new technology now, how long would it take? Would it be a day or less now? If we have a power outage now that we did back in 2003, how people would react? Because you wouldn't have internet. The towers would be down. Your internet would be down. All your communications would be down. And a lot of people don't have home phones no more, so around here have backup systems now, like the grocery store. Some of the grocery stores, Cisco, some of the banks around here, they have a little bit of backup power to keep their computers up without crashing. But a lot of places don't. A lot of gas stations don't have backup power around here. So if that kind of event ever happened again with all the technology we have now, I think it'd be less than a day that people would go nuts, especially if they didn't have generators. I have a generator. I've had one for years. I start it up every month, check it. I make sure it stays running properly so that way I always have power on demand. Plus I got solar panels now too to charge up my 12-volt batteries that I have for radios, or if I want to charge up a cell phone or a tablet or something like that. But if that same kind of power outage would happen now, it'd be, I think, within a day and a half to 2 days, it'd be totally chaos for a lot of people because you don't have the internet. People will be so freaking out of their minds. That's the one thing they'd be thinking about the most, other than going into survival mode, like I need to make sure my food in my refrigerator stays good. Do my neighbors have a generator? Can I piggyback off of you guys with a generator or something like that? Or be doing a lot of cooking? To get back to is it's me being without internet, and I can live without it. Yeah, I can live without it. Do I want to? Not really. It's kind of like not having internet. It's like not having Amazon. But anyways, I can survive without it. Sometimes it's good to unplug. Anyways, my thought is this: what kind of plan do you have when it comes to a power outage? What are you going to do when you're long-term power outages? You never know what's going to happen. It could be a 2 or 3 day, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. My thought is this: have a plan in play for power outages. Get your neighbors and your friends, get them more thinking about the power outages coming or what can happen. I mean, a lot of my neighbors don't have generators. I have a generator. I mean, we've all seen power outages. We've all had them. They've lasted for a couple hours, even lasted 8 hours to 10 hours. But yet, nobody still has a generator. It's one of my biggest peeves. You're gonna have power outages. You know they're gonna happen. So depending on when they're gonna happen. And the way the times have been these days, you never know when it's gonna happen. So kind of get your friends and your neighbors and everybody on the same page when it comes to planning. Have them, tell them, get a generator. $200-300 generator, something that can run your refrigerator or your deep freeze for a day, you know, or something like that. Have enough fuel on hand you should at least have enough fuel on hand for 3 days. But if you run your generator for your refrigerator and freezer, run it during the day, don't run it at nighttime. Keep it closed, shut, where nobody's fanning it. Especially if you got kids, they'll fan the heck of it. But anyways, have a plan. Get a plan with your friends and your neighbors. Plan for a power outage. That way, if you're the guy that's prepped and prepared for a power outage, and they're not, they're all going to come to you. I mean, of course, you're going to do what you can for your friends and neighbors, but if they can get prepared right off the get-go, have their own self-reliance, then the only thing you got to worry about is a security. Make sure to get a generator. Tell them to go buy a generator. $200-300 generator. Hell, you can get one from Harbor Freight for $99 that can run your refrigerator or your deep freeze. You know, you may be putting gas in it every couple hours or whatever, but it's something. Get something that they could be more self-reliant on. Get them into play to where they could be more self-reliant on themselves. Prepper, or you're prepared. You don't even have to be telling me you're a prepper or anything like that. Just, okay, I got a generator. I'm good. You know, have fuel for it too. You got to at least have a few days of fuel. You don't have to run it 24/7 either. Run it during the day. Keep it off at night, so that way you draw less attention to yourself. Anyways, get your friends, your family, your neighbors, get them all on the same page. Have them come up with a plan, because the better off they are, if they're self-reliant, they got their stuff going, you got your stuff going, everything's less hectic and chaotic. So on that note, less stress puts on you. I think everybody can just get on the same page. Try to emphasize that enough, especially if you got kids, young kids. You can do without internet. I mean, you're not going to have cell service, especially if you have a big major power outage like we did in 2003. Try your hardest. Do what you can. Family, friends, neighbors, get them on a page. Get them to get a generator or some kind of a power source to where they can keep their food cold, their refrigerator and freezer going, and have a little bit of, and keep your coffee maker going too. But anyways, on that note, hope you guys like this video. Please hit like if you like it. I'm trying to do my best to get these videos out here. I'm still new to this YouTube video thing. I'm just trying to put out my experiences I've had in life and the things I've prepared for, the things I've done in life, things I foresee coming, the things I've seen in the past been, you know, 2003 power outages, the Y2K thing. I mean, You never know. You can never tell what's going to happen. You got to be prepared for a lot. You got to be prepared. I mean, there's no excuse not to be prepared. We've all seen it. We've all seen what can happen with power outages, snowstorms, ice storms, anything, cold weather. You know, and now these days with the information we have, especially with the internet and YouTube videos and stuff, there's no excuse anymore to not be prepared for certain aspects in life, certain events that happen. We don't have no excuse anymore. It's either an economic collapse, a civil unrest, power outages, things like that. There's no more excuses no more. It's time to get off our butts and get things prepared. Not for doomsday and nothing like that, just for the conveniences of, or inconveniences of storms happening, power outages happening, shortages out there, hikes in prices and things. I mean, you name it, it's going to happen. Even if you don't think of it, it's already happened. So, on that note, people, I hope you like this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, more videos come. Like I said, I'm still new to YouTube. Just trying to put my experiences out there. So, be prepared, not scared. Get your family and your friends and your neighbors involved, because you're going to need them and they're going to need you. So on that note, God bless. You guys take it easy. Jeff with Waverly's Preps.